Psychology is a field of exploration. It is a field where you're going to go places that you've never been before.
Each student comes with a certain gift or ability that it's a God-given and that there's a place for them. And that part of what we want to do is help the students who have that particular gift find that and learn to develop that.
You know, I had just kind of taken some feedback from some of my friends on what some of my abilities were, and I was always one to be the problem solver, or the one that friends would come to, be able to lend an ear. And I took general psychology as well as the lab class that goes along with the general psych for majors. Took those classes, and I knew from there that was exactly what I was supposed to do.
What we're working on here is we're working on protection skills, so that if you were in a situation where you felt that you were in danger, that you would be able to protect yourself. So what I want you to do is I want you to tell him to take his hands off you, and I want you to make your eyes wide and white, like we've talked about.
Interpersonal relations is a class that comes in at the front end of our curriculum. So students learn to say no, they learn to protect themselves, they learn to handle it when people are angry with them, they learn to apologize, they learn to admit when they're wrong, they learn to fire someone or to end the relationship that's not a good relationship.
When I first met him, I have to say I was a little bit intimidated, but getting to know him, he is just such a kind and caring person.
He is probably, well, certainly one of the most sophisticated at the integration of faith and learning, teaching 3 classes that specifically deal with that topic, and making sure that he includes segments in all of his classes that would provide the Christian perspective.
We actually look at various scriptural principles and how they would apply in a counseling situation. I think it goes deeper than that in the sense that we try to bring to the process of counseling a Christian understanding of who people are, that they're not just a body, they're not just an animal, but there's something more than that, and that they have meaning and purpose in their lives.
What we need to do now is to reflect back upon what you experienced and tie it up into what we know about trust and effective leadership and effective groups. So first of all, let me ask you, when you were the one being caught, what were your feelings at the moment?
Dr. Swindell is one of the most amazing women that I've ever met. She's one of those people that will put everything aside, you know, to help out a student. And I try to, you know, do that same thing here as a guidance counselor in high school. It's just that, you know, nothing's more important than meeting with that student that has a concern.
One of the things we strive to do is to have students think critically about psychology, but against the bedrock of their Christian faith. One way to think about truth is capital T truth or small t truth. What we do here in psychology in this department is we teach them about small t truth, finding the answers to psychological truth through observation, the scientific method, through research, through experimentation. That gives us answers and helps us to understand humans and our place in the world. That is not eternal truth.
If I'm trying to figure out what is the purpose of my life, what should I be living my life for? What goals should I be seeking? It seems to me the Bible is the primary authority for understanding what I should be doing with my life. Now, psychology, it seems to me, on the other hand, is relevant in terms of figuring out how to do that most effectively and most efficiently.
Dr. Farman's classes are just always, honestly, sometimes they don't feel like classes because they're such interactions between him and the students.
He is probably the best scholar I have ever known. He's probably also our biggest character.
He's probably, I think, the most unique of the faculty members. He can be a little kooky sometimes.
Many psychologists are agnostics or atheists, and especially the famous ones. So their point of view is screwed up, in my opinion, as a Christian. However, their data, their observations are fantastic. The problem is that, in a sense, they are studying a fallen man. In other words, they're right, pretty much, in their descriptions of human beings, because we're fallen human beings. We're sinful human beings. And so you read Freud, and human beings don't look too cool. Well, they're sinners, and they're not too cool. And from the Christian point of view, we are aware this is not how we're meant to be. And we're given a promise and the wherewithal to begin changing our natures.
Coming to Anderson and studying psychology is a place that you will come away knowing 4 professors by name, who will know you by name, and who will care about your future, what you do. You will also develop a close relationship with about 20 to 30 other majors who will be doing similar things and with whom you will develop lifelong relationships.
My undergrad in psychology prepared me much more deeply, I feel, for the work I do than any of my other academics since.
When I graduate from here, I want to do my PhD in either clinical or developmental psychology and to work with children with autism and developmental disorders.
I feel like I am prepared to go on into graduate school and hopefully beyond to get a doctorate.
I want to find myself in psychology. I want to make a difference, and I want to change the world.